partner of the mother of Star Hobson, has been given a life sentence for the murder of the 16-month-old toddler. She will have to serve a minimum of 25 years. And the mother of Star Hobson has been given a sentence of 8 years, and that's for causing or allowing the death of Star Hobson. I can give you some details that were read by Mrs. Justice, the judge inside and across this trial, which has been going on for 8 weeks or so. The judge had said to Frankie Smith, despite the evidence, you failed to seek help, you failed to disassociate yourself from Savannah, continuing the relationship for your own ends. You allowed her into your flat, gave unsupervised access to Star, and that is why she's been given 8 years for her role in the death of her daughter. Mrs. Justice Lambert also spoke about Savannah Rockhill and mentioned about her callous behaviour, her controlling behaviour as well, particularly to Frankie Smith, but also to Star Hobson. She said that you inflicted Star's fatal injuries, kicking or punching her, causing a laceration to her interior abdominals. Star bled to death. The post-mortem had actually found more than 50% of PF blood in her abdominal, so some horrific injuries to that 16-month-old baby. The judge went on to say that the fatal punch or kick damaged a number of internal organs, and you know what triggered the attack inside that flat. But they say as well that it was not an isolated incident. A number of other injuries were also found on this baby over a number period of time. The judge also spoke about the psychological harm that Savannah had caused baby Star Hobson. As a result, she has been given a life sentence for murder. The judge also summarised this tragic story using some of the evidence that was given throughout this trial, saying that Savannah had no remorse throughout the trial when she was reliving some of that evidence that had been gathered by West Yorkshire Police here. She said that the filming of Star falling from a chair, dangerously hitting her head on the floor, both the couple filmed it, they both found it funny. Savannah, you edited the footage and sent it to a friend, just an indication of her callous and very controlling behaviour, said the judge. We also heard, just before this sentencing, some very detailed victim impact statements. One from the granddad of Star Hobson, Bernard Hobson. He said this: Star was snatched away before her life had started. We never saw her become a toddler, start school, be a teenager, become a beautiful woman within the world at her feet. We never got her to hear her talk, call us grandma and granddad. It's agonizingly hard to accept the reality. We have been haunted by wondering what Star endured in the last months. Now we know it was a living nightmare. The great-grandmother of Star Hobson as well, Anita Smith, said that her death was devastating. Her pain was so unnecessary when we were all here willing to look after her. I kiss her photo every night and say goodnight, Star, and morning beautiful when I wake up. It was incredibly emotional inside Bradford Crown Court, as well as those family members, those loved ones, many who'd actually raised concerns to social services about the injuries that Star Hobson had received from her mother's partner, but those cases by social services not being thoroughly investigated. So clearly for them, not only the trial of 8 weeks, reliving all that evidence, but knowing full well that this potentially could have been prevented was something very difficult for the family members inside Bradford Crown Court. I think also is important to note that the judge, summarising all of the evidence and things that she'd heard over the last 8 months, she put that the immaturity of Frankie Smith and the fact that she had quite a low IQ, the fact that she was a young young mother as well is a relevant mitigating factor, they said, but she did put her own interests first. Now, Frankie Smith's sentence of 8 years, that charge does usually go with a maximum of 14. Frankie, however, has been given a lesser period and 8 years. However, her partner, Savannah Brockhill, for the murder of Star Hobson, has been given a life sentence with a minimum of 25 years as well. And just some other comments from the judge. Talking directly to Savannah inside Bradford Crown Court, she said, the injury which led to Star's death were inflicted by you kicking or punching Star and her bleeding to death. Only you both know what triggered that fatal assault. She said that they abused and neglected Star over a long period. Star was caught up in the crossfire of this relationship, a relationship that was described as toxic. Close by, there were many people who loved Star and wanted to help, and we'd seen that over a number of months as many referrals were made. 5 referrals were made to social services in Bradford. As a result, none of them were thoroughly investigated. It came to no surprise, this is what the judge had said to the couple, it came as no surprise that those who loved Star are bewildered and angry. Close by, there were many people who loved her and simply wanted to help. And to Frankie Smith, she said, you chose to be and remained in that relationship for your own purpose, and you let Savannah be possessive of you, jealous, anger and violence towards Star Hobson. So some stark words from the judge inside Bradford Crown Court as she delivered those sentences. I'll reiterate those to you. Savannah Brockhill, a life sentence with a minimum of 25 years, and Frankie Smith, the mother of 16-month-old Star Hobson, that toddler who died in September 2020, has been given a sentence of 8 years for her part in the death of her own daughter.